How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, Evil Dead Rise, the next installment in the franchise, upcoming, right? Originally just for HBO Max, sometime this fall or in 2022. No specific release date as of yet. And potentially, the film may actually get a theatrical release. So, Bruce Campbell, the man, the myth, the legend, we all love him. Recently, at San Diego Comic-Con, this past 3 weeks ago, right? Because it went from July 21st through the 24th. He did a bunch of interviews, and specifically with CBR.com, they did an interview, and he actually gave us some insight on what's been going on. So, again, as I said, the movie was originally slated for a HBO Max release, just like how Prey, right, the Predator prequel, exclusive to Hulu, same thing. It was going to be HBO. But there was a test screening before, I think before Comic-Con. It could have been during, but regardless, there was an early screening. Of course, everyone signed NDAs, so I haven't seen any leaked footage or anything like that. But from the man himself, he's saying that it was overwhelmingly positive, similar to Prey, right? Where it's like people love it, and it was so well received, or high praise, that executives at HBO were even or Warner Bros, right, were even discussing should we put it out in theaters? Because if you look at Prey, right, it got pretty much critical acclaim right through the board. Check out my review on it. I loved it. Overall pretty good. One of the better Predator films of all, right? Seriously. And it was Hulu's biggest premiere ever, so it makes you think damn, how would the movie have done in theaters, So I hope we get a sequel and it does good, but we're talking about Evil Dead. So yeah, hearing from Bruce Campbell himself that the movie may potentially get a theatrical run, pretty cool. Now, does that mean it gets delayed? Because again, all we knew is it's coming sometime this year, but we're in mid-August, and it's if it was gonna come out in the fall, right? October, horror. You would think we'd have some marketing by now, trailer or something, but we don't. So at first, right, it made you think is the movie bad, right? Do they not have faith in it? But apparently it's well received, so that's reassuring as a fan. And yeah, I'm excited. I hope it does well. And another thing was that also, being that it was on HBO, and of course back in April, the merger between Warner Bros. And Discovery Plus, right, it went through. So now they are one company, Warner Bros. Discovery. And, specifically HBO, they've been a lot of the executives have been shuffled around. It's kind of mayhem up there. Batgirl recently got canceled, it was a $90 million film, and they're just kind of getting rid of a lot of these projects that were either in progress or almost done. I believe there was a Scooby-Doo movie, Scoob 2, something, and it was pretty much done, and they canned it. And, it brought into question, what about Evil Dead Rise? Is that going to get the same fate? But Lee Cronin, the director, tweeted out, pretty much saying, keep, have faith, or, keep, essentially, we're good. He kept it short, but saying, we're good hopes, it should come out. Now, I'm hoping, look, personally, I love it in theaters. I think it's horror and action are the go-to for theaters, that's sort of it really amplifies it. I love to see it. The fact that it was well received, hey, I'm for it. Because this is the first Evil Dead without Ash, Of course, Bruce Campbell has retired the character in live action form. but you know, he also even talked about potentially they do like an animated series. Of course, we have Evil Dead the game that came out, and you know that like he voiced obviously all the Ashes. So just in live action, he's done, and you know, Ash is not part of this, but it all, of course, ties back, and the concept is interesting. We're no longer out in the woods in a cabin. We're in like the urban, you know. It's like because the plot synopsis was like two sisters, like Ellie and I believe Beth. Like Beth is a younger sister visiting Ellie with her three kids, which I believe are daughters. Like it's a all female cast too, and she's visiting her in her apartment in LA. And of course, the Necronomicon gets involved, and all hell breaks loose. And you know, Bruce does go on to like give the film high praise in the sense of like, oh, this is like it's gonna be great, like scary, gory, because you have to wonder. Yeah, in the first movie we had the dynamic of like brother sister, right? Ash and Cheryl, but this movie we're dealing with like potentially mother daughter, and we all know, if of course if you're watching, you're an Evil Dead fan, or if you're new to the franchise, the Deadites are really scary in the sense that they taunt you, they play with you, like the psychological horror there, like you know there is crazy. Like 1 second, you know, they're possessed, the other they're like begging for help, and it's like no, they're gone. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. That like, you know, mother daughter like interaction or like family. You know, because this is like one tight knit family. We'll see other characters, but I believe Bruce said there's only like one male character in the film. So cool. I mean, doesn't bother me. Just give me a good story, and that's all I care about, right? Doesn't matter gender, that sort of thing. As long as you deliver on what you promise, say okay. But yeah, guys, Evil Dead, is it? Are we going to see it in theaters? I hope so. I hope it's this year. Please watch. As soon as I upload this, we get a trailer. That's, with my luck, that's usually how it goes. But I hope it's this year. If it gets delayed to next year too, get a theatrical run. I'm all for it. I mean, hey, I'm glad to see, you know, horror just come back, or like this big like renaissance we've been having, you know, since like Halloween 2018. I mean, I'm not saying they're all good. I mean, Halloween Kills was something. Check out my review of it. But yeah, it's like just to see these franchises come back, you know, these 80s classics is awesome. And I like that they're, like in this one's case, it is tied to like the other ones. It's not like a reboot, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, be on the lookout. Hopefully it's out soon. And, you know, come back here for the review when it eventually comes out. But that's all, guys. If you like this type of content, I make new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. And please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care.